Hello, we are going to finish up the 7-3 notes and talk about power to power rule. And we're going to start the notes halfway down page number 7, okay? So just as we did before, we're going to use repeated multiplication to solve the following problem. So if I have the quantity kr cubed, this cube tells me how many times I multiply the base. So I have kr times kr times kr. Okay, that's an expanded form there. Well, then from here we could go to the final answer of saying, well, I know that each of these are raised to the first power, and knowing my product rule, I have 3 k's, so it's k cubed, and then 3 r's times r cubed. Or I could use a commutative property and write the 3 k's next to one another, write the 3 r's next to one another, and still come up with the same answer. So what do we notice? This is called the power to power rule. Okay, so when a product of terms is raised to a power, each individual term is raised to that power. So let's think distribute. So I take a look at my example. I have the quantity a, b raised to the power of 3. Now I can go ahead in there and put exponents of 1 on the a and the b. And so I can think distribute. We know using the distributive property, if we had 3 times x plus 2, we would multiply, right? So 3x plus 6. So think distribute, which means multiplication. So I can distribute the 3 to the 1 exponent for the a and also for the b. So I have a to the 1 times 3, which is just a cubed. And again, I have b 1 times 3, b cubed. If all else fails and you have one of those moments where you think, I don't remember, you write ab times ab times ab, and you can get the exact same answer. All right, so let's look at these examples here. So I have 2x raised to the third power. Now, 2, I have an exponent of 1, and x, I have an exponent of 1. So when I distribute the 3 and I multiply, 2, 1 times 3, x to the 1 times 3. And I get 2 to the third times x to the third. There's my final, there's not quite my final answer because I can evaluate 2 to the third. 2 to the third is 8, so I have 8x to the third. That is my final answer. So if you have terms that you can evaluate in a calculator, please do. All right, let's look at number 8. Now notice I have exponents that are not 1. That's okay. I'm still going to distribute. So I have a to the 3 times 4 times b to the 2 times 4, which means I have a to the 12th times b to the 8th. Okay, again, you have that moment that you're like, I'm not sure. You write it out, in this case, 4 times, and you can use the product rule. Okay? And now for our tricky one. We've got a lot going on here. So let's do this. Let's go ahead, distribute. Okay, so I'll do this one first. I have c to the negative 4 times 2 times d to the negative 3 times 2 times, let's distribute here. I have c to the 0 times 2 times d to the 5 times negative 2. When I simplify, I have c to the negative 8 times d to the negative 6 times c to the 0 times d to the negative 10th. Again, taking these step by step. I can combine my c's, right? I can use my product rule. Negative 8 plus 0 is negative 8. So I have c to the negative 8 times d to the negative 16. And when I rewrite that using positive exponents, they're both negative. So I'm going to send them both downstairs. I have c to the 8th, 1 over c to the 8th times d to the 16th. So again, this one was a little tricky. When I look here at the next page, I'm asked to find the missing exponent. And then let's talk about what rule it is. So think, how do I go from 6 to 24? Well, 6 times 4 gets me 24. And what rule is this? This is power rule. When I look at number 12, it looks like they have the same like bases. So how do I go from 12 to 15? Well, I can add 3. So 3 plus 12 gets me 15. This is the product rule. And on this one, what exponent is going right here? Well, first off, I know they go downstairs. So I'd have to have a negative. So think negative 2. I need to have this, if I were to rewrite this, should be b to the negative 4 times f to the negative 14. So what number can go in here to get these exponents? Negative 2. And this is the negative exponent rule. And power rule. All right. Go ahead and hit pause. Try these on your own and then come back and check. All right, you should have 5 to the 7th, x cubed, a squared, y to the 32nd, r to the 14th times s to the 7th. And then finally, this answer should be b to the 25th. All right, thanks for watching.